Exodus chapter 22, verse 1. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, so if the animals cannot be returned, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, in other words, if a thief breaks into your house at night and you kill him, there shall no blood be shed for him. The homeowner is innocent of murder. The idea being, if someone breaks into your house at night, you are probably asleep and therefore defenseless, so the intent might be more than just robbery. If the sun be risen upon him, upon the thief, there shall be blood shed for him. Now this is interesting. Some commentators believe this to mean if the robbery happens during the day, the culprit can be identified, thus held responsible for the theft. However, Dr. Bullinger keeps this verse connected to the previous verse. He believes this to mean that if a man breaks in at night, steals his loot and quietly leaves and no one is harmed, but the homeowner tracks him down and kills him in cold blood, then that homeowner is guilty of murder. For he, the thief, should make full restitution. If he had nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft, that's the ox or the sheep, be certainly found in his hand alive, as opposed to killed or sold as in verse 1, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. Now let's look at some laws concerning neglect. Verse 5, if a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field. The idea here is if a man leaves his livestock free to graze, and the beast wanders off onto somebody else's property, of the best of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, so if a man is burning, say, leaves or thorns or stubble, and the fire gets out of control, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, so the neighbor says, will you hold on to my things while I'm away? And you agree, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges, and again, these are the judges that were appointed by Moses, to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. Now, if the accuser should be found to be a false witness, then the penalty he sought to lay on his neighbor shall be laid upon him. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 16. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges which shall be in those days, and the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witness be a false witness, and hath testified falsely against his brother, then shall you do unto him as he hath thought to have done unto his brother, so that thou shalt put the evil away from among you. Returning to verse 10, if a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or any beast to keep, and it die or be hurt or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of the Lord be between them both, that he hath not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. And the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. The thought being that the animal could have been previously injured or sick or otherwise on its way out. And if it be stolen from him, say from neglect, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. So take care of your charge as you would take care of your own things. If it be torn in pieces from a wild beast, then let him bring it, that's the remaining carcass, for a witness. And he shall not make good that which was torn, because it would be considered an act of God. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. So if you borrow something, you're responsible for it. But if the owner thereof be with it, in other words, if the animal is hired out to like plow a field, he shall not make it good if it be a hired thing. It came from his hire. Because it's a business transaction, and business transactions always come with risks. Now let's talk about some laws concerning social matters. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, so if a man seduces a virgin, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. And in this case, he can never give her a bill of divorce. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 29. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. Okay, returning to Exodus, verse 17. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins, and that's the 50 shekels. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death, and the beast also. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 15. And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and you shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They, that's the man or the woman and the beast, shall surely be put to death. Their blood, the blood guilt, shall be upon them, upon the man or the woman. So sexual sin has been around from the beginning, and bestiality has always been a part of that. According to the website upperclassmonroe.edu, and I'm paraphrasing here, there have been cave drawings believed to be from our prehistoric ancestors depicting sexual relations with animals. Paintings and carvings of human-animal sexual acts in ancient religious temples, including Mesopotamia and Babylon, have also been discovered. In fact, the Code of Hammurabi proclaimed death for any person engaging in bestiality. However, during the spring fertility rites of Babylon, animals were used for orgies that lasted for a week. The ancient Egyptians portrayed bestiality on tombs and in their hieroglyphics. And similar to those ancient Egyptian leaders, many Roman emperors and their wives were known to engage in bestiality or to enjoy watching others engage in bestiality, including Emperor Tiberius and his wife Julia, Claudius, Nero, and Constantine the Great. Let's go back to verse 20 in the book of Exodus. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. Thou shalt neither vex a stranger, that's hurt a stranger, nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry out at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry. Verse 24, and listen carefully. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. Now this is interesting, because all the other civil matters were brought before the judges for them to rule in the matter. But here, in the case of widows and orphans, God judges them. Let's go to Matthew chapter 23, verse 14. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you devour widows' houses, that means you take everything they have, and for a pretense make long prayer. Therefore you shall receive the greater damnation. Let's return to verse 25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, so that would be those who belong to any of the 12 tribes, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. So the idea here is not to add to the poor man's burdens by increasing his debt. Ideally, the proper thing would be just to be charitable. Give him the help needed, expecting nothing in return. Let's go to Matthew chapter 22, verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? And Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second commandment is like unto it. And listen carefully. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Now let's go to the book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 17. But whoso hath this world's goods, so if one has been blessed, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him? It doesn't. It can't. So, let's go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 42. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. That is loving thy neighbor as thyself. But we are to give selflessly, not begrudgingly. Let's turn to Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 10. Thou shalt surely give him, and thine heart shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him, because that for this thing the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy works, and in all that thou puttest thine hand unto. Let's go to Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. Don't just be all about self, but in lowliness of mind, that means with humility, let each esteem others better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. And remember, Matthew 25, verse 40. And the king, that's Jesus, shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, you have done it unto me. And when we bless others, God will certainly bless us. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17. He that hath pity on the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he, that's the Lord, pay him again. In other words, he will be rewarded. And finally, let's go to Proverbs chapter 22, verse 9. He that hath a bountiful eye, that's those who are generous, shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. And there are many, many more scriptures just like these. Let's return to the book of Exodus, pick it up at verse 26. If thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down. For that is his covering only, it is his raiment for his skin. And wherein shall he sleep? And it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me, that I will hear, for I am gracious. And again, if a person is that poor, the proper thing would be just to be charitable. Thou shalt not revile the gods. And again, this is Elohim, and it refers to the judges and magistrates that were appointed by Moses, nor curse the ruler of thy people. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruit and of thy liquors, and that would be the grain, the wine, and the oil offerings. The firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me, to be priests of God. Remember Exodus chapter 13, verse 2. Sanctify unto me all the firstborn. Whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. Back to verse 30. Likewise shalt thou do with thine oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dame, and on the 8th day thou shalt give it to me. And ye shall be holy men unto me. That's holy and separated from the rest of the world. Neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. And it's these laws that we have been learning of, including the food laws and others, that separate us, the children of God, from the rest of the world.